Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In today's video, we're going to take an in-depth look at this sweet little 2024 Mini Cooper Type S. This one's got a good bit of equipment on it. It's got quite a bit of equipment, but it doesn't have like the Harman Kardon stereo, a couple of other things, but it does have the pano roof, heated seats. It's an automatic 7-speed. And I love the way this thing drives. I cannot wait to drive it with you. And in this video, we're gonna go over the inside, the outside. We're gonna end up in the driver's seat behind the wheel where I'm gonna show you how all the buttons work. And then we're gonna top it off with a cherry on top with a delicious little ride in this street legal go-kart. This thing is incredible. But before we get started, I would like to say a huge thank you to Impex Auto Sales in Greensboro, North Carolina for the opportunity to film this beautiful little Mini Cooper. I'll be sure to leave all of their contact information, including their website, in the description box below. I've been driving this car for about 4 days now, and I love aspects of it, but there are aspects of it that are just leave a little to be desired just because this thing is so small. And it's in the name. It is a Mini Cooper. Everything about it is tiny. This is a 4-door, but in my opinion, it's technically a 2-seater, and I'll show you why in just a minute. It's got some incredible touches that make it distinctly Mini Cooper that you know when you see this vehicle, that's exactly what it is. Let me show you what I mean. Union Jack taillights. You see that? That looks like the flag of England. You can see there. How cool is that? And because this is the Cooper S, you have the dual tailpipes right there in the middle. That's a cool look. You also have little buttons on the bumpers, and that's park assist. That's what beeps when you get too close to something. But moving on to what makes it distinctly a Mini Cooper, the headlights. And I love the headlights. You see that? I'm clicking the button, and those headlights are just the coolest with the big ring around the outside. And then you have the beautiful LED headlights there. The front of it, of course, you have the hood scoop there because this is the Mini Cooper S as well. And then you have that front grille, the cool little mouth that just looks like it's looking at you. You also have air outlets or inlets that are right there, and that's what cools the brakes. You also see your radiator and your intercooler down there. That is for the twin turbo, and the engine setup in this thing. Engine and transmission setup in this thing is absolutely spectacular. I love the wheels. This makes it, you know, whenever you see a Mini Cooper, you see either the one mag wheel that is like a silver color, but then you see this one and you're like, yeah, that's definitely an upgrade. This one is sitting on 205 45 ZR17 rubber, and you do have disc brakes in the front and disc brakes also in the back. These, by the way, are Pirelli tires. I don't know if these are factory tires because this one has some miles on it, but they are incredibly sticky, and it's going to feel even more sticky because of the wheels, or where the tire placement, wheel placement is so far out and to the extreme ends of the vehicle. It has this really big stance, and that's what gives it such grippy power, or such fantastic handling dynamics. I mean, this thing feels like it's absolutely on rails. Like I said, it feels like a go-kart. In the back here, you have a decent amount of storage. I did some shopping with my wife, and we were able to get a good amount in the rear of it. It's actually pretty impressive. You also have tethers there for up to 3 child safety seats. Technically, this thing is a 5-seater, but they better be 3 tiny people in the back. You have a little board here that's kind of like a thing that goes down with the back door to conceal anything that you have in the back of the vehicle. But check that out. That is a great area for storage. Now, just a second ago, I said it's a 4-door but 2-passenger vehicle. And for practical purposes, here's what I mean. Look at what kind of room the rear passenger is going to have if I am driving and you're sitting behind me. This driver's seat is seated, adjusted to my positioning. It's very comfortable, by the way. It's a fantastic driver's seat, but look at that lack of room. That's my hand, and that's how much room you have. I'm not even going to attempt to get back there to show you, but you do have 3 seat belts back there. The interior touching surfaces are really nice. It's very, very European, which by that I mean it's very firm, and it feels like it could just last forever. The quality is just second to none. 3 headrests, great big, gorgeous panoramic roof that I really, really like. 1 cup holder there, and then that's about it. And look how fantastically small this back door is. And it's just like any other back door. You've got a handle, you've got a power window switch, you got a speaker, and you have storage. It just happens to be about that big. You also have really cool LED lighting, and it's like LED piping, and it's on the inside of all the doors at night. This thing is really, really impressive. But that back seat is nothing. So check out how very unique the hood is. You see that looks offset, and that's because I just popped the hood. But look, you pop the hood on the inside and you don't have to unlatch it or anything, and then boom, it is set on shocks, so you don't have this arm that you have to pitch it up on. That is super, super nice. But look, it's got cutouts for your headlights. How interesting is that? And the headlight seems to be like the only big thing on this car. It has a twin turbo engine, and this, I cannot get enough of this engine. I absolutely love the little engine that could in this thing. Right now we're looking at a 2-liter twin turbo 4-cylinder engine, produces 189 horsepower, 207 pound-foot of torque. You have options as far as the transmission is concerned. You can get a 6-speed manual. This one has a 7-speed dual clutch, and it has a 0 to 60 time around 6.5 seconds. And this thing is fabulous. I mean, think about that. Twin turbo, dual clutch, more torque than horsepower. That is the combination of nothing but absolute smiles forever. As long as you're sitting in the driver's seat, not in the back. Plus the fact that it absolutely drives like it's on rails. It is the stickiest car that I have driven since I've driven a Porsche probably. It's just absolutely wonderful. Out of this engine, you're going to get approximately 27 miles per gallon in the city and 37 on the highway. That's actually a pretty good miles per gallon ratio considering, but you only have a teeny tiny 11-gallon gas tank. So it's going to seem thirsty. It's actually decently fuel efficient, but because the gas tank is so small, you might go through gas pretty good. It has a length of 152.8 inches, an overall width of 68 inches, a height of 55.7 inches, and a wheelbase of 98.2 inches. Now, taking into consideration the dimensions that I just mentioned, there's only one that is over 100 inches, and that's the overall length of the thing. So it's just teeny tiny. That's obvious. Now, the reason I'm pointing that out is because, man, this thing is so maneuverable in city settings, and that's where you're going to really see this thing shine. You're really going to enjoy driving this thing if you're a city dweller and you really don't really have a commute. If your commute is just a few miles a day, fabulous. But if you're driving a lot, you might want to consider another vehicle, because the driver's seat and the way getting in and out of this thing is, especially if you have some age on your bones, is going to be a little bit rough. because since it's so small, you kind of have to climb in and climb out. But once you're in, it is a hoot. Another thing that I really appreciate is the attention to detail. And in spite of the fact that this is such a small vehicle, you would think that it would be a quote budget-friendly vehicle. Yeah, it's gonna start around 31 grand for the S, but I'm really saying that to say that it actually has a lot of luxury car things on it. Look at all the chrome trim. You can see that there. As I mentioned earlier, the panoramic roof, a little bit more chrome trim here. Chrome accents right there. Really good looking wheels. And on the inside, there's been a lot of attention to detail as far as the aesthetics, the feel, and the overall look. And the way the vehicle just presents itself is actually luxurious. In spite of the fact that it's a Mini Cooper, it actually feels very, very well done. The key fob for the Cooper is a little bit quirky. It's just a round disc. It looks like a huge M&M. On the top, it's unlock. In the middle with the winged Mini Cooper logo, that's lock. The back of that is for your rear door, your rear hatch. And then you can pull this portion out and there is a physical key. The key is, it's not bad. It fits well in your pocket and it feels quality. It's extremely lightweight. And the keyless system, as far as the way everything works, it works brilliantly. You lock and unlock with this one little black button. It's unlocked right now. That just locked it. And then I press that again and it unlocks, and then getting in, and you can see just how cool the cabin is. It is very, very well presented. Another teeny tiny little door. I like how the door handle here, you can see how the unlock and lock buttons are integrated into the door, the way it opens, and then your controls for your windows and for your power mirrors. The mirrors will actually power fold as well. What's kind of weird is that this one does not have blind spot detection. There's no blind spot monitor there integrated into the mirror. That's odd, but it does have all kinds of other safety features there though. These are going to be your lights, and you can see your turn signals, and then the way this works, you can see a little arrow here. You can do that to cut it off and on if you want to prevent or open airflow. But let's hop in and take a look at the details. So once you're in and behind the wheel, you have a beautiful, thick feeling, substantial leather wrapped steering wheel with a really cool mini winged emblem there, right there in the middle of your steering wheel. But yeah, this steering wheel is nice. It's stitched and it feels good. It's substantial. It goes up and down, in and out, tilt and telescope, foot on the brake, key on your person or in the vehicle. And this is how you start it. You just push this tab down and it fires right up. This display here is fully digital. It's very easy to read, easy on the eyes, nice. It's not too bright at night. It works very well. Then you have this big ring, this lit up lighted ring right here that is interactive with your climate controls. It's interactive with the gas pedal. I don't know what other things it's interactive with, but it's very colorful, and that is, it's a really cool little thing. This button that's green here is going to be your intelligent safety. So this is kind of like a quick access to the intelligent safety features. You can see here, front collision warning, pedestrian warning, lane departure, and it allows you to customize it or configure it. And then your hazards are there. Then this portion is the actual screen. It's touch screen, and it's very good. It's very sensitive. It's interactive. It shows a whole lot of information. By the way, you do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It works very, very well. And you can see down here is going to be operation for your audio. So band, AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth, that type of stuff. And then mode goes right there. And then you can pick which mode you want to listen to. Satellite, Pandora, AM, FM, Bluetooth, Audible, Spotify, all those things, seeking, track, or scan. And then this is going to be all presets up to 6. Right here is all of your climate settings, 3 easy dials, dual zone climate control. Then you have 3-way heated seats, of course your defrost and everything there. And then right here is everything is configured in the form of like tabs or switches. That's pretty cool. This is the automatic engine shutoff feature where you can disable that, and that's what it's like when it's disabled. So when that light is on, the engine will stay running all the time. And this is traction control off, and then these are your selectable drive modes. This is fun. So whenever you want to drive it sporty, you just flick it up and it goes to sport, dynamic setting, sport displays. Then you can go down with it, and that's mid. It's a balance setting, and that's green, efficient driving setting. I would say mid is a balance of sport and green. This is the configuration that I have been driving it in a lot. You also see sport, mid, and green there. So we know that we are in sport mode because it says sport right there. And this gives us better acceleration, or it makes the gas pedal more sensitive. And I don't know if it stiffens the steering, but it is a hoot. It's a lot of fun. And then here is your gear shifter. You have park, reverse, neutral, drive, and then that's manual. Then you've got a button right here, so you have to squeeze that and you can pull it back, and now we're in drive. If you want to engage it in reverse, you just do that, and then up comes your backup camera. It's an okay camera. The clarity is pretty decent, but then you can see here that you have your sensors that are now active, and that's looking out for things for you so you don't run into things. Rear view camera, parking aid lines. Yes, we want to include that. We want to do obstacle marking and all of that. And so that's it. So now we can go there, and now you can see it has dynamic grid lines. I'm turning the wheel, and so you can see right there. That's super nice. And then right here in the very middle, you have your universal dial, and then you have media, map, menu, communications, nav, and back, and option. And then you can you can move this up and down, left and right, and all that in order to navigate everything up on the touchscreen that we were just looking at. Now for the steering wheel, over here on the left side is going to be your cruise control, and this is actually allows you to set the speed of your cruise. So I just pressed LIM, and then in the middle you can see LIM, and I'm hitting up right now, and that's setting it to like 26 miles per hour. And then you can hit resume or cancel here, but this middle button actually activates or engages the cruise control. Over on the right side, you're going to see all audio, voice commands, Bluetooth right here, and then this is going to be volume, and this is like seek or scan or track, and then the OK button there in the middle. You also have paddle shifters, and as I mentioned, this is a dual clutch, so you can upshift here, and then over here you can downshift on the left. Driving the 2024 Mini Cooper S, this is where it's at. You can basically forget everything I just said about it being small and uncomfortable, or if I said anything like that, because this redeems it completely. If you've ever driven a go-kart on a track and you have that sensation of sitting on the ground and being super flat and planted, and like there's zero body roll, and just wherever you push or turn the steering wheel is exactly where the car goes, that is what this is like. And the feedback is unbelievable. So the steering is nice and stout. There you go. And it's got under 200 horsepower, but that doesn't matter. This is not about horsepower. This is about physics because it's such a small vehicle with a perfect power balance, a perfect suspension setup, and the wheels are pushed way out to the edges, so that makes this thing absolutely fantastic to drive. It's not going to be as fast as a Porsche or whatever, but it's going to be, in my opinion, just as fun, because you've got twin turbo, a dual clutch, all kinds of amazing things that make this thing just a blast to drive. And so putting all of that into a package this small, and then you actually, whenever you put it in sport down here, you have this exhaust note that just brings it to life. Then when you engage the paddle shifters and you're zipping through the dual clutch stuff, my goodness gracious, it is just a recipe for just laughter. All right, you see this ring right here? This is the ring that I was talking about, and you can see, watch, I'm accelerating, and see over here on the left side, that ring, the light in it increases. And so far I have discovered that that is for climate and for the accelerator. It could be for other things as well though. Now, here's something about the driver's seat. The driver's seat, I fit perfectly in the driver's seat as far as the width is concerned, but you have these bolsters that are big and that you kind of wedge yourself into a little bit. If I were much wider, this would probably be an issue and I would not be able to drive this thing. But because it is so bolstered and it's such a European feeling seat, it's an actual driver's seat, and I think it feels great, but not everyone will agree with that. I mean, look at how that, look at that. I'm just barely turning the wheel and it just reacts instantly. The way it feels on the highway, I'm going 77 miles an hour right now, and it feels it doesn't feel small. That's another thing about it. I have tons of headroom, and so yes, it feels tiny getting in and out. And then when you get out of it, and you can look down onto the roof and all that stuff, and it's little bitty. But then when you get behind the wheel, it somehow it's mysterious, but it doesn't feel small. Like my look, my overview here of the dash and everything, it just kind of feels like a normal car, but I really enjoy the way the cabin feels. The way this is, the way the screen is interactive, is really easy to use if you're trying to use your wireless Apple CarPlay and everything while you're driving. Very, very easy, not a problem. Road noise is at the high level. You're naturally going to have that because you have low profile tires, you're sitting on the ground, and you have a ton of windows. All right, here we go. Transmission, beautiful. Engine sound, it's fully engaged. Steering feel, suspension. By the way, this thing rides rough. I mean, you don't really have a wheelbase to absorb anything, so it feels every single bump in the road. But that's just, par for the course. All right, I just shifted the shifter down here over to the left. You can do that actually at any speed. So now we're in sport mode, or S. I don't know if it necessarily stands for sport, but shifting maybe. And so now I'm going to shift manually on the steering wheel. Man, that thing responds really well. You hear how it's holding the rev? It doesn't feel like a traditional dual clutch. When you're in a high-end vehicle that has a dual clutch, you kind of have that pop. This one really doesn't. It's like a very, I would almost say if I didn't read it, or if I didn't know that it had a dual clutch, I don't know that I would guess that it did, other than the immediate response. We're in third gear right now. We're going to turn right here, gearing down. That's second gear. We're in fourth now. And it's, man, just everything you tell it to do, where you point it, it does it immediately. It is just a great feel. Okay, everybody, that's gonna do it for our look at the 2024 Mini Cooper S. I have thoroughly enjoyed bringing this video to you, and I hope you have enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Be sure to check out Impex Auto Sales on the worldwide internet machine. But remember, the most important thing of all, everybody, have a wonderful day.